Welcome to Cowchair Country, powered by vLiveCast. I'm your host, Sue Bonzell, and I want to say thank you to our sponsor, SoCo Private Security. Today, we have an amazing guest with us, and y'all are going to be impressed. It's Adam Hambrick. He has written #1 hits for Dan and Shay and Justin Moore, and he has his own new song out now that I am super excited to share with you. It's Adam Hambrick is here. Oh my God. Hi, Adam.
What's up? How are you?
I am fantastic. Oh, you look great. You're in, like, is this your studio?
Yeah, this is my studio. We just moved in. I say we just moved in. It's been a year. It's been practically a year, and so it's finally starting to come together. You kind of see. I got finally hung a couple plaques on the wall back there. I got some guitars hanging on the walls. We're finally getting to where it feels like a nice little space. It's actually a closet. It's not a big spot.
Well, that works. So, and
Yeah.
you're in Nashville, correct?
In Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, ma'am.
Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I mean, I think I'm a little bit starstruck because I think, you're pretty awesome. And of course, you've worked with some pretty big names doing some songwriting. So tell me about how you got into, songwriting in country music.
Well, it's kind of for me, I call it a God thing. I feel like it was sort of like winning the songwriter lottery a little bit. I was making music on my own back home in Arkansas, and music was just kind of the dream that wouldn't die. That's what I tell people. And Justin Moore saw me play on this local morning TV show because he's from Arkansas. He just happened to be at home, happened to be watching TV one morning when I was like doing some promotion for this little record I'd done. And he called his producer. His producer was looking to build a publishing company, looking for young talent to work with. And that turned into me coming to Nashville once a month for a little over a year to try to write songs, to try to meet people. And man, I just fell in love with the whole process and got cut on Justin's record. That was a duet with Miranda Lambert called Old Habits. I don't know if y'all ever heard that one, but
yes, yep.
Absolutely. And then that turned into me getting to come to Nashville and kind of live the dream. I just, I feel very fortunate and very lucky.
That's pretty incredible. I mean, I love it that, like you said, it was like, Justin Moore just happened to see you on TV, and next thing you know, you're working with him and some of these big names. So, how do you describe your songwriting style?
My songwriting style, I like to use pictures. I like to say, I don't like to tell you, I like to show you. And so I like to use, colorful languages that hopefully puts a picture in your mind. Like, I hope when I'm singing about the town that I grew up in, I hope you see yours, kind of thing. Use pictures to make people feel stuff. And that's really the core of what my favorite music makes me feel stuff deeply. And so that's what I want my music to do.
So yeah, and like you said, having people identify with what you've written about and what you're singing about, where you go, yeah, I totally identify with that, and then it's like that heart piece that they're like, I'm invested. I love this song.
That's exactly it. That's all you can hope for as an artist, as a songwriter, that people see your story and they connect to it, and it kind of becomes their story. And because those are the people who end up like changing the game,
Exactly.
So, yeah,
exactly. Well, I read a little bit about you, and I was laughing out loud, where it said that you basically wore out a tape of Garth Brooks.
Oh man,
cassette tape.
Absolutely, yeah. That I never will forget. It was Christmas. I want to say I was 6 years old. I got this cassette player for Christmas from my Aunt Joanne, and it didn't come with any tapes. And so she was like, "Oh man, I'm so embarrassed. I should have thought of that. I should have got you a tape of something." And she ran to her car and she pulled out the only thing. She's like, "I think this has some country music on it." I was like, "Cool," because I listen to country music on the radio. That's all we ever listened to. And it was Garth Brooks, No Fences. It was just like a blank. It was like a dubbed tape. It was like a ripped off Garth Brooks bootleg no fences, and I wore it out. Like I played the tape till it literally would not play.
That
And
is so awesome. I
that
think
that
I
that
probably did the same thing when, I mean, it was,
I'm
I mean, anything Garth Brooks, I was like, yes, I'm in. I want to be part of
absolutely.
that. Yeah, he's amazing. So, I mean, that's a pretty big musical influence for you. What are some of your other musical influences as you write and sing?
Uh, it really like all that '90s country stuff was a thing that like, it made me love songs. It gave me a kind of a blueprint for what a song is supposed to be. Like it was rich with all those kind of pictures. When I was in high school, it became more like there was a lot of rock bands like Third Eye Blind, Foo Fighters, and Incubus was a band I was really into back in the day.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, uh, but I guess probably one of the most influential people on my music is probably John Mayer. If you listen to my music at all, you probably hear some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like covers a wide gap. Even hip hop acts like Outkast find their way into
How
like
cool. That is so
the,
fun. I love
yeah.
that. I love that you have like this, like a broad range of influences, like you said, and you kind of pull those things in where you need to that fit right. And I just love that.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Napster kid. I was like my kids when I was in high school. Like we were the first generation that had this sort of like, oh, we
Right.
can listen to literally anything,
Anything.
and it left a fingerprint on my taste in music.
Exactly. And you probably, like you said, it being younger like that, finding, the new stuff. Well, what's new that nobody knows about? And you're like, oh man, have you heard this? Those
Yeah,
kinds of things. I remember doing that as a kid. And that's kind of what I'm doing now, where I'm finding, you've been around for a while and I knew who you were before. And so, but I'm talking to a lot of these new artists where it's like, then they're like going big. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is what I love.
yeah.
Love doing that. So you've had these number one hits for Dan and Shay and Justin Moore. So do you feel pressure like, oh man, I gotta put out some more number one hits? Like, is there pressure behind any of that?
You know, yes and no. Like the pressure always comes from in here. Because Nashville, I tell people this, like young songwriters and new artists and stuff. Nashville has a way of making you wear success like clothes.
Mm.
Like, and you feel like you got to put on the jacket of 10 million streams to go into the coffee shop where famous songwriters hang out. So you feel like you belong. Because if you don't have that yet, you can feel kind of naked. and 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 so like yeah, I had a couple hits a couple years ago, and that's been awesome. It's opened a ton of doors for me, and I kind of like jumped, kind of like took a leap and into doing my own thing as an artist. And so like that's where my focus has been, and it kind of like it's kind of a vulnerable place because now I'm just like looking for, okay, where's the next thing coming from? But I try to take those things one day at a time and try not to let the success that I currently have or have had or hopefully will have one day not like define what I'm doing in the day to day, so
Sure.
that I can still make the music that makes people feel stuff, and so I
Right.
can still make the music that makes me feel stuff, and I can be like the best version of myself because
Well, it's kind of like, you're doing it for the right reasons because you love what you do, not for, hey, I'm going to do this big thing and it's got to be huge, and you're just
yeah.
doing it because you love it.
Yeah, if you can find that sweet spot of aiming, of like swinging for the fences, but also like being yourself, man,
Yep.
that's the sweet spot. That's where
Sweet
we're all
spot.
trying to get.
The perfect balance. I love it. So now you mentioned, you're working on some of your own music, and you've got this new song that I'm like loving. So you have an EP, right? And this
Yeah,
is it was called Flip Sides. Is that correct?
all the flip sides. Yep.
Uh, so this song, "The Longer I Lay Here," and you've got this great gal on it too, who's
Yeah.
singing with you, Jillian Jacqueline, and I'm reading about her, and I'm like, wow, she's done stuff with Keith Urban. She's phenomenal. You guys together on this song are just money on this song. I love it.
I I like to think of as our voices on this track kind of do like it's not a 1 + 1 = 2 thing. It's like when we sing together, it feels like it's its own thing,
Yeah.
which is super cool. This is what you hope for in a collab. And when we wrote this song, I thought it would be a cool collab kind of song. And then my producer, who's also friends with Jillian, he was like, "Hey, we should get Jillian." I was like, "Dude, great idea." And so we called her, and she was all in for it. And man, I don't know. I've always been such a big stupid fanboy of hers, and I think she's a complete artist. Like she has her fingerprint on everything that she like, everything from the look to the sound to the videos to all the stuff, and she's just one of the most like complete creative people that I've come across, and just a
Yeah,
big fan.
so I want to say thank you for introducing her to me in my world, where I'm like, man, I need to find out more about this gal, and I'd like to follow her because I really enjoy what you guys did together with the song. So it's called "The Longer I Lay Here," and it's a little bit of an earworm.
You know what? That's what I hope for.
It's like I keep singing it, and I'm like, I can't get this song out of my head. It's great. It's great.
Well, good.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's the idea, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing.
that's right.
So, are you willing to play something for us today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great.
Just go grab one off the wall here.
Okay, great.
Oh, man. This is truly raw and unfiltered. I literally came out of my kitchen with kids screaming and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches flying through the air, and
But this is what I love. It's the authenticity.
This is real. This is real life. Yeah. So I was just double checking that this guitar was actually in tune. I'll play this one. This song is I put it out a while ago, but it's the first unofficial week of summer. Memorial Day was last week, so I feel like this is a good time for this song. It's called "All You All Night All Summer." Rip the calendar page out for May. The days getting longer. Into the sun, out of the shade. Pretty girls by the wall. The DJ don't spin slow songs. So everybody wants to dance. Everything you love about the summer just brings your memory back to when it was. True love magic, bare feet, radio cranky, those are the cheekbones, far on the hood, the stars that lived their lives in a small town. I was all in, you were all mine. Hot days, wish I could freeze down. I may never recover. It was all you, all night, all summer, summer, all you, all night, all summer, summer. Every sunset, smiling midnight summer, oh, you all night, oh, summer, summer, oh, you all night, oh, summer, summer.
Yay. That's a great way to kick off our summer. That's amazing.
That's my summer song. Everybody's
I
gonna
love
have
it.
one.
Thank you for sharing that with me. That's like I said, kicking off our summer. As you may know, I am in the wine country
Oh
out here in
man,
California.
big fan
Big
of
fan.
you.
I was going to ask you. Okay, do you like wine?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, what's your favorite?
Oh, I mean, it depends. Are we talking like a specific brand, or are we
Oh,
talking like Pinot Cabernet,
yeah, like that.
Shiraz, or,
So
like what?
you know some of the varietals. I'm impressed.
I mean, I know some of the variety. I know just enough to be dangerous, and I'm not picky. I'm not picky. I do like. I mean, Camus is kind of a can't miss.
Yeah.
Whenever you can get a hold of one of those, I usually get up on that when somebody else is buying. But
Exactly.
yeah, but that's
Well,
that's probably one of my favorites.
okay, so you like the cab. I might have to get you a bottle from out here in Sonoma County.
Hey, well, you might have to take out a mortgage to get it, but
Uh,
that's your thing.
well, I didn't say I was going to get you Camus.
Okay, fair.
I'll get you a very nice cab.
There you
We have
go.
we
There
have
you go.
lots of them here.
I will
So,
say I tend to be a bit of a bourbon guy. I know a little
ah,
more about bourbon than I do about wine, but I do know that I
okay.
enjoy a good red wine.
Okay. So I can teach you about wine. You can teach me about bourbon because I don't know enough about bourbon.
That
How to
sounds that
figure out
sounds
too.
like a plan. That sounds like a plan.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan. So Adam, what is next for you? What's happening coming up in this next year? What do you have planned?
We're just going to continue to put out music, and that's really the name of the game right now. It's like figure out how do we put out music and get the people who are already listening excited, keep them engaged, and then but also put out new stuff that brings more people into what you're doing, and
Right.
and telling it's all about telling stories, whether it's through the song or through social media and all that stuff, and
Yes.
and so just find new ways to tell the stories around my music, and that's really the name of the game for me. And gonna get out, play some shows. I'm going back
Okay,
home to
good.
Arkansas this month to play shows in Texas and Nebraska and Iowa, and just like all these just kind of like random stuff that's popping up as things are opening back up.
I love
So
it.
it's not normal, but it's normal adjacent.
Yeah.
So I know everybody in Nashville is excited about that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm planning a trip out there. I'll be out there at the end of summer. I'm super excited about that. Maybe I'll see you there. Maybe you'll be
Come
playing
on,
somewhere. We'll have to get together. We might
let
have to
me.
have bourbon together.
There we go. There we go. Let me know when you're in town. I'll give you all the recommendations that
Ah,
that you can take.
that is perfect. And we'd love to get you out here in California too. So anytime.
I'm a big dumb fanboy of California.
Oh, well,
Like
then
it's
darn it, we got
it's
to get you
it's
out here.
it's too far away for me to ever feel like I could ever live in California, because I just
Right.
miss my family too much. Miss Arkansas. Miss my
Sure.
people. But every time I go to California, I'm like, I get it. I get it. Y'all got it going on out there.
Yeah, yeah, we have a good time out here, that's for sure. But you're having a good time in Nashville, so
It's
it's good times, good balance. So thank you again for taking the time to chat with me, play the song. We're gonna look for you on TikTok, all your social media. Uh, Thank you so much, Adam Hambrick.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It's great to talk to you today, Sue.
Yeah, take care. Thanks for watching Cowchair Country. I'm Sue Bonzell. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and like and subscribe. And of course, if you have an up and coming country artist that you would love for me to interview, please let me know in the comments.